Dark Synth, Bridge Burning Day.
Don't forget to quit your job.
Don't forget to quit your friggin' job. Love those graphics, dude. It's like... Sorry, there was some feedback. They don't pay you for the work that you do in the streets. What do you call that? What do you call that style of graphic, or it's like Blade Runner kind of like dystopian, like futuristic?
Yeah,
cyberpunk kind of.
Yeah, it's like cyberpunk kind of stuff. Definitely,
that's cool as shit. It's like I just picture like an anime hedgehog, but but it's like half human, and he's got like headphones. I guess Sonic the Hedgehog, but more realistic though.
He's got
like a
realistic than Sonic the Hedgehog,
like a human version of Sonic the Hedgehog with like a hoverboard, but he's also got like a Walkman, you know.
I agree. Hold that thought. You know why? Because this is another episode of UFO Garage.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Joe, and this is where we talk about UFOs, aliens, and all things weird. Ben, you jumped the gun on that one. We're supposed to do that part first, and then talk about hedgehogs that are man-like with Walkmans. You know?
All right, you want to start again? You want to try again?
No, not at all. Hey.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Totally Topless Topic
Tuesday.
Ben and I are in the house.
Yeah. In a house. You're in your house, man.
We're in separate houses.
And I'm in my house, dude.
And then you guys are all in separate houses. But collectively, we are in the house.
Collectively, we are in the house.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
And that is what's
up. We got some fun topics for today. I apologize ahead of time. I feel like shit today
because you were as sixes.
I was at sixes. I wasn't feeling too good. I'm still not feeling too good. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do the damn thing. All right, we're gonna do the damn thing. We got a couple cool topics that we're gonna go into today. Ben, I believe you have a topic on who was it?
The Anunnaki symbolism.
The Anunnaki symbolism. And then later on, we're going to go into remote viewing a little bit. So 2 topics for today. We'll go ahead and start with the Anunnaki and the symbolism, man.
Hell,
you want to do that?
Let me bring it up, dude.
All right, man.
So last night yesterday I had a weird day. And I had this thought come through my head, and then I just like went on this whole like tangent in my head, and this led me down this path. And I know this subject has been talked about in like Ancient Aliens, like the TV show, and like probably a billion other podcasts and TV shows. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's fun to go back and look and take another examination. And we had some fun on Twitter today. Like a bunch of people had. The post is of the image of the Syrian. I think I'm saying that wrong. The Assyrian sculpture relief of this like eagle-headed god-like figure with like huge muscles and like huge wings in the pine cone. And his little purse,
dude. His muscles are huge,
and his little purses. Who knows what he's got in that little thing? There's a candy. It's a bag full of fun. I know that. But anyway, so I posted that and just I had this hot take that the purse equals hidden knowledge / like magic with a K. And again, dude, like you and I are just tipping our toe into that kind of like, we really don't know. That could probably mean something way different than what we maybe think right now.
Oh God. Yeah, it's not the same as being a crystal with a K, you know what I'm saying?
Crystals with a K, they've got
Herpes.
Well, let's say there was a gap in their resume at some point, and then another gap, and then they're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm reinventing myself, and I am a realtor, and I don't give a shit.
My name's Crystal with a K. I like four-wheeling and drinking Zima.
And I don't give a fuck.
Hi, I'm Crystal with a K.
Crystal with a K. I'll punch you right in the face and then make out with you.
I've known a couple crystals with K's.
Yeah.
So what do you think, dude? I mean, what is this? What is your idea on the symbolism? I really want to know what's up with the puka shells on his neck. I mean, that wasn't like till like the mid 90s that became a hit.
Right. Well, here's the thing is that they're trendsetters.
And also, if you look, you know, I'm not staring or nothing, but you know, if you look down by that purse a little bit below, is that another pine cone down there he's hiding, or is that a calf muscle?
Dude. So actually I wanted to go through some of the comments. Someone actually did comment about that there are multiple pine cone shapes, including his forearm here.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna call that a dick and balls.
Wait, which part? Like the pine cone?
The dick and balls in his hand? No, the dick and balls where his dick and balls goes.
By his leg.
The dick and balls on his forearm?
I don't know. Maybe he's lifting. Maybe he's lifting it.
Lifting dick and balls. What a pastime.
Hey, man, the ancient Sumerians didn't play around.
Yeah, Crystal with a K would do it.
They wore their dicks on their sleeves, man.
Ugh.
But yeah, I mean, my interpretation is wide open. I'm just so curious about this stuff. But the idea that I had when I made this post was like, purse equals hidden knowledge / magic. It's like all this stuff, like secret technology, things that we as a culture have been given by a higher race or higher species, have that be an alien or a celestial being of sort, you know, like gods in a sense. And then the pine cone represents the infinite wand. And that word, just like, I was just typing shit like, what can I say that makes that, like trying to think of a word that described what I was thinking about. And the only words that came to my head were like infinite wand, speaking to like the Fibonacci sequence and like the golden ratio within, if you look at it like a pine cone from above and stuff. But I mean, that's pretty much it. And we got some really good replies that I wanted to kind of share and go through. So like,
does anybody know any Anunnakis down there? Because there's always one that's like, I met an Anunnaki.
Dude, surprisingly not. No one said that they had met one. But
when I was 17, you might have. How the hell do we know? I don't know. Shit.
At an impressionable age, man.
They were tall. What did they look like? I wonder what kind of skin they had. Maybe it was like blue. Maybe it was like black skin.
Yeah.
Maybe like, you know, I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know.
I feel like the color of the skin is like maybe equal or of the same shade as the residents that live in that same area now, I guess. And I did write some notes, and it's in the Mesopotamia area, in between the Tigris and the Euphrates, modern day Iraq and Kuwait. Boom. So yeah, I mean, like, there's probably, you know, there's all kinds of shades. Even white people have like different shades, or black people have different shades, and it's just, yeah. But I think it's.
But I'm wondering if, like, I get that that's like the quote unquote dawn of civilization, right? Like,
yeah, like the cradle of civilization.
Like, if I'm sure there was traders going through there all the time, you know. For me, I would wonder if that civilization were to like look at something and be like, oh, he looks just like us, right? Or if they would, or if this thing came down, like maybe it did look like them, but maybe their skin was like shiny or like it would glow, or like did they have like gold skin? If the Anunnaki were so big in like this gold stuff, like would they paint their bodies in gold? Is that where the Egyptians would get this from? Like, what are like the like, the ancients were emulating something, and for these, the Sumerians, the ancient Sumerians, to write about these people that came from the sky, it's hard to. I'm sure back in the day they may have like painted like what color that these things were, because a lot of this stuff had color to it, right?
Yeah.
But it was only pigments that they could find, usually in their regions or through trading, so maybe sometimes they didn't have it. But even if it was like a crystal being whose skin looked like shiny diamonds, how would you portray that in like, on a wall or like on a stone tablet or something? Sorry, I unplugged my headphones.
I'm freaking out because somebody said a word that I didn't mean to say. If I did,
what'd you say?
I don't know. The R word was thrown around. I mean, did I say something?
The R word?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the R word?
I don't know, but it's bumming me out. Did I say something bad? Like
when? Oh, in our chat room?
No,
or
just
on Twitter.
Just on the podcast.
Oh, in general? Oh, dude, I don't know. I mean, somebody got mad last week because we said gay ants. Like, who cares? Fucking nobody gets mad over gay ants. What? It's a joke.
I was talking about how different people have different shades of skin. How is that racist? I don't understand, dude.
Nah. He's joking. No worries.
Okay.
Don't overthink it, man. But what do you think about that? You think it's just like they drew what they saw, Was it just wings and pine cones and purses? Like, can you imagine if something showed up, like you saw it and you're like, what is that guy wearing a purse for? And why is he carrying around these pine cones? Like, and like even then, like, aren't pine cones like, I mean, that's very terrestrial, that's very earthy. A pine cone is like, I don't know. There's got to be something to that pine cone, like the representation of it, because for man to represent whatever he was actually holding as a pine cone, that's got to be misidentification, right? I mean, an Anunnaki did not land on Earth and pull a pine cone out of a purse. It just didn't happen, right? It just didn't happen. Well, I want to know like what that representation is.
There is someone posted something really funny. Jesus. They said, what if they're just they're literally just like going around picking pine cones up and putting them in their purse?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Yes. Shane Shifty said, perhaps they just liked collecting pine cones and putting them in their purse.
Yeah, dude. Or maybe it's like a representation, right? Like seeding the universe, like, because a pine cone, like that shit will grow into a tree.
Yeah.
The seeds fall off.
Yeah.
Like,
Linda Thompson actually said something about like maybe it's literally just a pine cone, and they're like it's like pine cones are seeds. And it made me think, like, when was the last time there were pine forests in that area? And I don't know. I looked up the topography, the flora, fauna, whatever, in that area, and I didn't see anything about pine trees. But pine trees would be like a very sturdy source of wood. They grow fast. It's pretty strong wood, right? It's not like a super hard wood, and
it's very sappy.
Yeah. So I wonder, like, if where did they even get that pine cone from? Did it grow in the area? Like, what? I don't know. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah. Well, yeah. As we were getting into that conversation, I started thinking, were there fucking pine cones back then in that day? But the climate was different. It's possible. I mean, if Egypt wasn't like this fucking desert that it is today, right? Or like, I'm saying Egypt again, but like just that area in general was like a flourishing jungle, right? I mean, there was grass and trees and stuff everywhere at the time. But I wonder if it would have still held some sort of tropical type of climate, which just means that like those trees just won't, they're different, they may grow, they may be like a different type of pine cone or pine tree. It may be shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about that thing. It's fucking me up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
The longest conversation on a pine cone ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, yeah. So shit. There was some other cool shit about that. That's all I got, man. Yeah.
That was it?
I mean, there's some cool replies here. Let's see. Turning around the picture, it looks like a little team of characters with flower heads assisting on the chain of creation, hand in hand, which is like a kind of like a flower relief. It almost does look like people like with flower heads holding hands, kind of like dancing around and stuff. I thought that was kind of cool.
It does.
Ready for the tea. Thank you for that zoom in here. And there's like a zoom in on like the tools. There's so much detail with it. So like who was this person? Who were they trying to depict? Was it a god? Is like the Anunnaki aren't like a real people. They were apparently the gods that the ancient Assyrians and the Akkadians and the Sumerians and the Babylonians, that's like these gods that they worshipped. So they try to depict like how they help their civilization with different things. So a lot of this stuff is like, it's so subjective and you can pontificate on little details like this. That's why it's fun, because we still don't know. Even the ancient Egyptians, their language was basically like emojis. It was like sending out little it wasn't actual words. Cuneiform, which was an earlier form of communication, was more like a sentence structure like we have. But like Egyptian reliefs and stuff like that was more like, okay, this symbol that's a bird means this, and then combined with this other symbol, it means something completely different. So everything, when you look at it, it's like totally symbolic, and that's why I love like that we don't know 100% what everything means. Even like the foremost expert on Egyptology and the language, like we could take his word for it.
Yeah.
But it's still up for interpretation, I think.
Well, 509 is saying pine cones were known to be vitality boosters. They also were known to be ancestors of the Pleiadians. They used advanced technology to instill consciousness in the lower dimensional beings for enlightenment.
Yeah.
So
can you highlight that one? Which one?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Where'd it go?
Vitality boost. Is that what the one you just read? Vitality boosters?
Yeah.
Boosters, dude.
But even if that was the case, right? Even if that's the case, are they vitality boosters on planet Nibiru? Like, did they show up with these pine cones? Is that where we got the pine cone from? Like, did they bring this tree, this seed, from their planet, and it just so happened to grow here? Or did they get here and they were like, fucking grab that pine cone. Let's go show these people some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it just so happened the pine cone was the interpretation of like this hidden knowledge. Or because I think this all the time, dude, certain animals and plants and things like that, like, are they even from here, dude? You know?
Dude, I've never thought about that. What if pine trees are from a different freaking planet, bro?
Yeah. And then just through years and years of evolution, they evolved into what they are today. But they could have been a completely different thing back in the day, you know?
Yeah. Dude, love that.
Yeah. So what do you think about that, though? Like, even further, Planet Nibiru, Planet X, like, how do you feel about that? It's supposed to be coming around pretty soon again, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the planets that the ancient Sumerians and Akkadians and the Babylonians, that's what these Anunnaki gods were like named after, were planets that they knew of. And Anu was one of the gods, which was a planet, but I'm still unclear on which planet they're referring to as Anu. And maybe that might be something I just completely dumb about, that I don't know, like, oh, that meant Jupiter or something, but could it mean Nibiru or
wasn't
maybe I'm saying the wrong one. Nubu or something.
Yeah, Nibiru.
Yeah, but I think one of their gods was actually named like Nubu or something like that. Like Nibiru. It's close to like the
Nubius?
word Nibiru. Maybe
Nubius
mythology.
No, because it wasn't. No, that wasn't. I don't know, dude. All these dudes look the same. They're all like, especially when they're all carved on rocks. Can never tell anymore, dude.
Yeah, and it sucks. Like Jimmy from Bright Insight. He's got a great show. If y'all haven't seen that, y'all should check it out. But he was in the military and witnessed like the cultures in present time. Like they just destroyed all of these statues and like even museums. Those like all the stuff we have photos of. The stuff, a lot of it doesn't exist anymore, which really
sucks.
Yeah, he's also on the Jimmy was on Joe Rogan recently, it was an awesome interview, by the way.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those things. I mean, they look cool, man. Like just it's so fascinating. Like I don't know, because then you see like, well, you don't see, but like you hear about like then like humans, right? Like these kings and stuff. They have like these mighty beards and like they emulate these guys, you know?
Yeah.
It seems like they all I don't really know where I'm going with that, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's the smart people of those days. They made their history books in stone. So whatever they saw, whatever they talked about, whatever was important, they didn't just write it on a piece of paper or put it in the cloud. They made it in a freaking stone, dude. That's why we still know about it. It's like where we're still like, imagine the artists that did those statues, that chiseled those statues thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
Do you think he ever knew that like we'd one day be talking about this, communicating about this through the internet, asking ourselves like, but what does it mean though?
I'm sure whoever did that probably had the thought, the kings are gonna save this for the rest of eternity, and people will read this for the rest of my life, right? Because information it was so like rare back then that like that was like a treasure to people back in the day. If you had a tablet or something to read or something of value like that, that shit was like high commodity. Now I write something, I don't even think somebody's gonna see it 20 years down the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just the amount of information coming out, you know?
Yeah.
Like when monks and stuff were like writing Bibles and scriptures and shit, they were like, fuck, this is holy. I can't believe I'm like one of 8 people in this entire country that knows how to do this, you know?
Yeah. Right.
You know, nobody knew how to read or write, you know? They were just barely learning how to make sounds.
Yeah.
But I could be completely wrong. That could be just the jaded history that we're taught, right? I mean, these guys fucking could have been an advanced civilization with flying machines that knew about the aliens and the stars, and they put the pyramids together on the fucking perfect, you know, placement on the earth because they knew the fucking, you know, aliens and shit. Like, you know, it could go that way too. It could be that the aliens weren't even there. That we were the aliens. We did have the technology and we just lost it.
Yeah. Dude. I love it. Love that. Love that so much.
Oh man.
Dude, I want to say thanks to Dave Spaced Out Radio. Thank you so much. He said this is for the Vegas fun.
That's for the Vegas fun?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Dave. Hell yeah.
Dave, I'm going to need a little bit more. It's not going to pay for my bags.
Mr. Crowley, thank you so much, bro.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Love it. So what else you got on this Anunnaki stuff, man?
I mean, that's pretty much it. I feel like I'm going to scrap this episode because I fucked up at the beginning. I feel like I said something offensive, and now I'm like totally way overthinking it. And yeah,
I don't think you said anything offensive.
It's only going to be live. we said some shit last week that we can, like, we didn't even, it wasn't even bad. But,
so fuck it.
But it eats at me. It really sucks and it really ruins my entire week. So like, I can't cost the stress. So we got to start over on Thursday, dude. I'm just being honest with you.
Well, I mean, but do I even need to waste my breath on this?
We should just cut it. Yeah.
Are you serious?
I mean, I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. I feel like I said something offensive, and some people might take it the wrong way. So yeah, it's messing with you, dude.
Yeah, but you're always gonna say something offensive, and somebody's always gonna have a problem with it.
Yeah. Oh well.
If they want to say what they want to say, they can make their own show and say what they want to say on their own fucking show.
Yeah.
People don't listen to us because we care about what we say. Obviously, that has not been the thing for the past 2 years. Let's go chat room. I need a little help here. All right. I gotta do this. You know, I gotta look at that. Look at that. Everybody agrees with me.
Well, I appreciate the love, guys.
I don't even know. I didn't even hear what you said.
The R word was thrown out, and I just don't really remember exactly what I said. There was no intent.
Are you sure you said it?
I mean, you started it, but I made it exactly like we did last week, where you said something and I made it worse by explaining it. That's what I do. I was trying to be a good guy, and then fucking hell, man.
I was gonna say that. I was like, usually I'll just say things and it'll fly under the radar,
but I just need to just let it go.
And you got to unpack it for 5 minutes.
I just make it worse. So this one will go to the books as just a live episode, never before, never after seen.
Like last week.
Oh, well, you said gay ants. And
and then you were like, well,
and I was like,
there's nothing wrong with being a gay ant. Let me just say that.
If you were an ant and you were gay, there's no worry about that.
It's totally okay.
It's fine. Love is love.
You know what, dude? We're going to keep going with this episode. It doesn't even matter, dude. Okay. I got another R word for you guys, and it's called remote viewing. All right? Remote viewing, dude. What does that mean, bro? Remote viewing.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Viewing from a distance. Whoa, shit. Right, dude? Remote viewing. Now, there's a couple things, along with this remote viewing. People seem to have, like, I wouldn't say the wrong idea. I think maybe it's just not, really explained very well at times. And people just think it's like some like weird psychic shit, right? Like psychic. Yeah. It's psychic. Yeah. And psychic is a whole nother thing, right? Because psychic is a thing, yes, but there's multiple different things that like a psychic does. It's not just like, oh, I can tell the future in a crystal ball, right? And everybody has a different level of psychic abilities, and even if you're like, I bet that phone's about to ring, and then it rings. Oh shit, dude. That's a psychic ability, like you could be thinking about somebody and then they call you or just little things, so when we're talking about remote viewing, it's been said by some that this has been confirmed enough by enough people that we should stop wasting our time on trying to prove the reality of it, right? We should stop trying to prove that it's real and move on. Right. And this is from people in the science community themselves. There's a lot of people on the outside who are like, oh yeah, we need to look into remote viewing. We need to see what the science is and prove prove this and prove that. But there's been enough done that we've proved that remote viewing is absolutely a thing. Right.
Yeah.
So now
even the alphabet letter agencies like the CIA have gone into this, like spend money, like taxpayer money on this shit.
They know a lot about it, right? Which is one of those things that happens. It seems to happen, in the realm of science, right? It's like these guys, they realize, shit, this is real. Okay. So the people who understand that and are ready to move forward with the topic, we're going to hire them and we're going to do this. knowing that we know that it's real, we're going to let the rest of the scientific community waste all 20 of their funding dollars by the government and to see if they can prove that it's real, right? So while these three-letter agencies and special groups, black projects, already know it's real and they're running full steam ahead with it, the other people are still back here trying to prove that it's real, right? And they don't ever say anything, but we know it's a real thing.
Yeah. I think
It
we
is.
all do on a subconscious level. We know that we just don't want to talk about it because it's like,
well,
as soon as you do, it's like, oh, okay, all right, you're that guy or that girl now.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess it used to be, but now, I mean, we're today we're officially past that point, right? It's kind of like, are we still proving that there's something out there in the sky? Like, nope. We're past that. We know that there is something. What it is, we have no idea, but we know that there is something up in the sky. We can move on to the next chapter, right? That's kind of where we are. I mean, there's no longer this guessing game. Is there something else up there? Like, of course, yes, there's officially something else out there. It's the same thing with this remote viewing stuff. Like, we don't even have to guess anymore. We know it's real. Like, it's just a real thing. Now we're just waiting on the rest of the 99 monkeys to like catch up so the rest of humanity can move on and we can get on with ourselves, right? Because I think with this remote viewing thing and the capabilities, the psychic capabilities of each person individually, I think that is a block to our psychic abilities. The moment that we can all get past the fact, is ESP or remote viewing, is that a real thing? I think once we can all move past that, because yes, it is a real thing, I think everybody's psychic abilities are going to take a step up. Just the idea,
Yeah.
the knowing that this is a real thing and people are doing it, um, you know, makes it a little more tangible for the average person, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Where does that start? Where does that conversation start with the acceptance of the masses, right? Like right now it's what used to be like the shamans. Right now it's the scientists. And we think that everything they say is correct until 10 years pass by and you're like, everything, well, some of it was right.
Yeah.
So where do you think that's going to move into the future? Like in the next, I don't know, let's say 50 years. Do you think the truth is going to come from the scientists still, or do you think it's going to maybe full circle back to the shamans?
I think we're definitely still going to use the scientists. But I think there's going to be more personal stuff, I think, that we can answer for ourselves. This whole consciousness thing, the idea of being able to remote view, or the idea of being able to heal yourself, I guess, in like a small way, through just energies and things like that. I think that's going to become more home remedy stuff. And we're still going to ask scientists, like, hey, how do you make a rocket? You know,
Yeah.
like,
Hey.
like, so yeah, we're still going to need the scientists and engineers and things like that to explain kind of what's happening, because as we start to unpack this and people have different experiences, we're going to want to give that data to somebody, or have somebody at least look at this data to tell us, like, well, what are the physical effects in our reality of this happening to me, even though I'm working through non-locality. What is the jump from the quantum level at which this is working at into the relative level of everything big, everything that I'm seeing right now? Like, how we'll need scientists to try and bridge that gap, or trying to explain, kind of like they're doing right now. So, I mean, their jobs are still going to be there. I just
Yeah.
think we're going to have a lot more confidence in ourselves to not need that hard explanation anymore.
Hell yeah, dude.
You know,
Yeah.
like, I know that I can breathe, right? And I know that like oxygen is like a cool thing and like I totally need it, but it also kills you at the same time, you know? And like,
Wait, oxygen kills you?
yeah, dude. That's why, like, because like when oxygen like goes into your cells, that's what creates aging and it dies. That's why they have
Whoa.
antioxidants. Things with high antioxidants don't
What?
oxidize the body, And well, I say don't oxidize the body, but they don't add more oxygen to the body that will eventually age and kill cells. Right? That
What?
and the what are they called? The telomeres or something that's in your
Yeah, telomeres, yeah, like the length of them.
that has a lot to do with it too, but
Yeah.
oxygen also kills you. It wears out your body. Um, so fuck, where was I going with that? I forgot.
I don't know, but that sounded fucking smart,
It
dude.
sounded smart, right?
Dude, let's back it up to the remote viewing aspect of I've got one more image. The remote viewing aspect of so like how does it work? Like is there like a formula that someone follows? Is there like a protocol? I feel like
It's,
there is, right?
so it kind of depends, right? If we're talking about remote viewing, there's a couple different ways that this can be achieved. Imagine you have a friend, right? You have a friend who's somewhere away from you and you want to check in on them, right? The way you would do that is one of the ways is telepathy, right? Telepathy is a way that a person far away from you is thinking, you're able to think about them and lock your mind with their mind. You're almost like connecting consciousness. So you can almost uh, tell where they are. It's a feeling that you get, and you can kind of feel and tell where they are. Right. That's a form of telepathy, and you can also have clairvoyance, which means it's kind of the same thing, where you go into this state and you can see where they are. Right. You can
Yeah.
actually see it. It's not like the telepathy where you're just getting these senses and vibes. The clairvoyance, you can actually see. You're seeing this, right? And another method that people use is precognition. So basically, if you went to Spain and took a bunch of pictures and stuff, and then you came back and you showed me all that stuff, well, technically, what I could do um, through precognition is I could view where you're at and the time that you come home to show me photos of where you've been, and that's how I would know where you already were before you even got home, right?
Cool.
Precognition. So telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, these are some ways that they use remote viewing. Now, it was studied for a long time. You look at the Stargate program. There was some stuff in the 80s. There was actually this really interesting what does she do? Uh, she was like an analysis, right? Her name was, let me see, I have it written, Dr. Jessica Utz. And she actually worked for SRI, which is the Stanford Research
Yeah.
Institution. And she knew the people that ran that program. So, guys like Hal Puthoff.
Oh.
She worked directly with them because they were looking for somebody to actually take stats and analytics. They needed a numbers person because they wanted to run the numbers on like the data that they were collecting. So they hired this lady and she worked for them for about a year. She said that there's two programs, right? There's one where it was a top secret program that was higher up that the military was using, and we were actually using remote viewers to remote view enemies and targets, places, things, right?
Okay.
That's what remote viewing is. And then there was like this sub study that was done by SRI, and she was part of that program where they would study these individuals and then take down all the data, right?
Okay.
And so she said what was extremely phenomenal about the whole thing is that through the span of time that they did the studies, you would have a 1 in 4 shot of actually getting the correct answer. And the people who they found to be remote viewers would usually get it in 1 in 3, which is
Mm.
not like a big margin. But if you space that out about around a bunch of
That's a
people,
good percentage.
it's extremely accurate is what they found. And they said that at the time, the lottery was running and you had a 1 out of 10 million chance, 1 out of 10 million chance of actually hitting the lottery, right? But if you were in this program, because people would always say, oh, they're just guessing, lucky guess, right? There's, lucky this, lucky that. These people are just being lucky. She was saying, well, to the people who say that they were just getting lucky, they had a 1 out of 10 billion chance of having a lucky guess of whatever it is that they wanted them to remote view.
1 out of a billion?
10 billion.
10 billion?
1 out of
Billions
10 billion.
Billions.
Right. SRI and the analytics team came up with the numbers and stated that, if you were to get this correct, that's a 1 in a 10 billion chance that you could possibly get that answer correct.
Dude.
Right? So which means that you had a way, way, way better chance of winning the lottery than you ever would to know what the remote viewing, what was supposed to be remote viewed.
Damn.
And they even did studies to basically say, like they put people like in a submarine, like 500 miles off the coast and like way, way down deep in the ocean. And they made them remote view shit. Right. Because they were like, we're trying to block all the.
Wait, so they took him into a submarine and took him underwater. Like, hey, try it now, dude.
Yeah, now remote view that shit now.
Right? Now try it, dude.
And so they were blocked off in this section of the submarine, and they had to do the test. And these people were nailing it, right? So these people were actually remote viewing.
I wonder if it made it even easier because they were connected more to source, like the Earth's vibrational frequency or whatever.
So that's possible, right? But one thing that she was saying is that people always talk about how they could possibly be influenced by certain frequencies or vibrations, things like that. She's like, but we know for a fact it doesn't work like that. It works in the quantum level, which means that they're not able to like pick up these readings as easy as you would think, right? You're having to have a mechanism to pick up a quantum reading to even catch it. And at that time, nobody was doing that shit.
Yeah, see, how would you even like? That's the whole point of that thought. Like we were both discussing a couple months ago. Like, okay, it's been like maybe a year after the ATIP stuff and like all the stuff we're talking about and everything that's coming out in the news. I'm like, the sensor. We got to focus on the sensor. If we can't sense it, then we can't communicate it. We talk to Gary Voorhees all the time. I mean, dude, he's a great buddy of ours. And like, he's got a very intimate knowledge of the data and the radar systems. And then I would love to have him on the show and ask him like, dude, what if we just like, we don't have the right sensor for what we're looking for. We can't communicate it yet.
It very well could be. We just don't know what that communication line is like. We don't know if it runs on frequently. It could run through fucking water. Who knows, dude? Like we have no idea.
Well, I know that there's some kind of connection there because it seems to be that the underlining factor, the connecting force is brains, is consciousness, is a lot with, from what I know with a lot of these like remote viewers, they are not seeing just a place out of, God mode and like Halo, like,
right.
They're seeing it through other people's eyes. So if that person was in that location and saw, it's always from the perspective of a human. It's never like above as an eagle. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like a lot of the hits that they get are from the perspective of another human. So they're tapping in to this non-local consciousness.
Yeah.
Which is freaking cool.
And they even did studies where they would show people pictures and they would be like good pictures, sexy pictures, bad pictures, things like that. And they would record them. And the precognition thing was huge for them because they noticed that people's eyes would react to what the image was 5 seconds before the image even popped up.
Dude, that's crazy.
So their intuition knew that this next photo is going to be bad. And so their pupils would display that it's going to be a bad photo. And then 5 seconds later, the bad photo would show up. And then the next one, it would soften up and be like, oh, it's a picture of a bunny or whatever. Like, it's going to be a nice picture. And the pupils would soften up. 5 seconds later, then a nice picture would show up. So they were showing actual numbers and studies through lots and lots of people that this precognition was a thing.
Yeah.
And people, even though they didn't know consciously, subconsciously, they knew, their intuition knew what was coming next, whether they physically thought it or not. And I found this really, really cool little article here by Jimmy Carter. It was posted back in 1995. So there was a plane that was that went down in Africa, and they wanted to get to it before the Soviets got to it. And this came from Jimmy Carter. CIA used psychic help to find a missing plane. President Jimmy Carter said the CIA, without his knowledge, once consulted a psychic to help locate missing government plane in Africa. Carter told students at Emory University that the special U.S. plane crashed somewhere in Zaire while he was president. According to Carter, U.S. spy satellites could find no trace of the aircraft, so the CIA consulted a psychic from California. Carter said the woman went into a trance and gave some latitude and longitude figures. We focused our satellite cameras on that point, and the plane was there.
Damn, dude. Focused our satellites on it. What?
Yeah. So Carter knew about this, and he made a public statement about how the CIA would use psychics to find shit all around the world.
Damn, dude.
So, like I was saying a little bit earlier, like, we have to get past this. Is remote viewing a real thing, or is these psychic abilities a real thing?
Yeah.
They absolutely are. There's a lot of numbers that have been run on this. And there's a,
so a couple numbers.
It's like
letters.
Why?
Somebody's with a calculator.
You spent a fuckload of tax money on this whole thing, right? These were projects, man. And they eventually kind of died out. We had more accurate forms of being able to find stuff. Our technology got better. Our cameras got better. It was easier to find things. Our communication, our spies, all that stuff got a little bit better. I think this program ran for about 12 years or so. But that doesn't mean that they're not still using them today. I mean, I think we all know somebody personally who's been known to, remote view popes and shit. So I mean,
I would also look at, there's a reason why the secret budget of the military has it's secret, because they don't want you to know that we all have this true potential that is natural to us. I feel like they don't want us to know, because if we're spending billions, let's say 1 billion a year on these types of programs and like developing senses of ESP and remote viewing to get an edge on our enemy, I guess, quote unquote, if we even have enemies anymore. But like that, if there's a reason why we spend so much damn money and focus so much attention to that. And I feel like the reason why it's been planted in our minds that it's crazy is for a reason, because they don't want us to know that we could all be privy to that knowledge, dude. Like,
absolutely.
Imagine you just gave out your password to your email to everyone.
It's so secretive, right? That this was a black budget project inside of a black budget project.
Yeah.
So it was already a black budget project, and then somebody inside was like, you know what? Let's start something even more secret.
Yeah.
And they're like, cool, should we go to another room? And they're like, no, we're doing it right here inside this black budget project.
It's quiet enough.
So
my mom is cooking breakfast upstairs. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet.
Yeah.
What if it was like a standard
how do you know that she's making it? I'm remote viewing, dude. Be quiet.
Yeah, but what is she making though?
Pancakes.
How scrambled are her eggs? Quiet. Guys, I said shut up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I'm going to going ahead and stand on a hill and say I think remote viewing is real. 100%. I think it is a thing. I think we all need to get over it.
I'm gonna join you. I'm gonna join you. I would stand up, but I'm not wearing pants. So
yeah,
I'm gonna join you on that hill.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
A lot of people are asking, how do we know you're not wearing pants? Well, you don't. That's why.
That's part of the mystery.
That's part of the mystery.
That's right. That's right. Hell yeah.
Well, dude, I feel like your research and the work you put into your subject was a lot better than mine. We could do a whole episode on just remote viewing, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
Dude. We could definitely dive back into it again. I mean, hey, these are just small 2-topic Tuesdays. If you guys hear a topic that you liked, say, hey, bring that shit up again so we can get more into it. These are just fun, short little things that we'd like to do. We're going to start doing them on Tuesdays, and we're not going to be wearing shirts.
Because you know what? Sometimes we just don't wear shirts.
Yeah.
But like sometimes they're like on Tuesdays, though.
We're like dudes.
We're dudes, man.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez. All right. Well, that was another episode of Totally Topless 2-Topic Tuesday.
Heck yeah, man. Y'all make sure and go and check us out, UFOGaragePodcast.com. Go peruse.
There's a website.
Peruse the site.
We got merch.
We got all of our episodes on there. We got our faces on there. We got movable graphics on there, and we got merch. Go check out our merch store. Yeah. We're now doing this thing to where everything that you purchase through UFO Garage, at the end of the quarter, 20% of everything y'all purchase gets donated over to somebody in need or an organization who's doing some good research. You guys throw out names, and we'll whenever it comes to the next quarter, we'll choose another one. I said that kind of funny. Wouldn't it be funny if we just donated 20% of like t-shirts and mugs to like somebody?
We're like, here you go. Like the person that orders it actually doesn't get it. Like, they're like, hey, I only received like a piece of this shirt.
Because the other 20% went to the
we told you that.
So now there's researchers walking around with like 3/4 of a shirt on.
Oh, sorry, we sent you a sleeve, dude, but God, you can wear it.
Try to do something nice, and everybody just bitches about it.
God damn it, we just try to do the right thing and
can't do anything right. God. But no, not t-shirts and mugs. Your money, your hard-earned cash will be donated to help out, man. So, yeah.
Well, shit, dude.
That sound good?
That sounds good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I turned off the chat. So if anybody has donated, thank you guys so much for the super chats tonight. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And we'll see you on Thursday. Thursday.
Hell yeah, man. Well, hey, this has been another episode of Totally Topless 2-Topic Tuesday right here on the UFO Garage Podcast. We'll talk to y'all Thursday, man. See you later.
Peace.
Bye.